Hello. It's time for another rune video. It's only been about 6 months, I think. So let's move on with the next one in the series. Last time we did the tear rune. This time we're doing Berkana, which is the birch rune. The letter B, obviously. An ancient rune. And Berkana, as you can see, it has a straight line that emerges upwards from the Well of Weird and then proceeds in zigzags, descending but in a alternating pattern. The effect of this is that it creates, well, you know, anyone who knows the letter B is familiar with the kind of the two bumps, right? Berkana is connected to the birch tree, and from there to the sacred feminine among the ancient European pagans. And you can interpret this as an image of the mother goddess, specifically the great earth mother. So you can even see the breasts and the belly, right? This is also alliterative with the letter B. So it's a symbol of the divine feminine, but specifically the feminine in the form of the great mother of earth. And in modern times, we tend to think of the earth mother in the context of things like environmentalism or feminism, where that concept, that archetype, has been given a very whitewashed kind of perspective in most cases, right? We tend to think of it as being this all benevolent, all loving, you know, the hippie mother goddess that is going to take care of you. And of course, the motherhood aspect was one very important part of this archetype. But there's also this element of the mother representing the wild, representing the uncivilized, so to say, representing nature, representing in an edge of danger. And in most ancient mother goddesses, you see this aspect. You think of goddesses like Durga or Kali, Mahakali, or that sort of thing in the Indian subcontinent. And you can see that to this day, right? They're the all-loving mother, but they're also the fierce and savage force, not really tamed by civilized society, and that can be capable of striking down those who do evil. And also this parallel that exists between the mother and death, right? The caring mother of the womb and the earth that will receive you again into its womb when you die. In the context of the runes, then, the earth mother represents this process of emergence and transformation that happens, that can herald the creation of something and also the end of something. So the two goddesses most associated with this rune were the goddess Freya and the goddess Hela. And Freya was one of the mother goddesses, and was a goddess of love and a goddess of fertility, and so it represents the womb. And Hel was the goddess of the dead, of the underworld, so the womb and the tomb together. The iconography of Berkana is obviously that of a pregnant woman, and so it represents in divination terms. It can tend to represent, well, women. It can represent new beginnings. It can represent literal pregnancy. It can represent children and intimate family. It can symbolize trying to generate a new beginning, right? Because that's what the process of pregnancy is. It's the birth of a new life, right? So bringing a new life into an element. And it can represent that caring and that nurturing. If it's ill auspiced, then it can also represent this possessive and smothering quality, right? That this thing that that is going to take care of you until you die, and so it can be the domineering or smothering mother force that restrains you from getting out of a place that you feel very secure in, but that is actually not allowing you to prosper. So there's an element of both of those. There's a very powerful element in Berkana also of this idea of family and of ancestral ties. The Berkana was also connected to these spirits, the minor goddesses, if you like, that were called the Dizir, which were the goddesses, the ancient goddesses of the family, right? These spirits that watched over the family. And most pagan cultures, or most ancient pagan cultures, you had this idea, and the Romans had the Lares, for example, that a family line, a clan, will have their own spirits that have to be taken care of, and at the same time that are meant to protect the members of the family and help in their prosperity. So even you see this obviously in ancestral worship in China as well. So when you get the Berkana rune as an image in divination, it could be a sign of connection to ancestral issues, right? Or to family issues, to the family past, or to your connection, emotionally speaking, because it is a rune that is very tied to kind of the emotional sphere, to positive or negative issues relating to the family and to one's family connections. It means that having this rune in a central place is tied into the notion of having to deal with the requirements of the ancestors or the problems of the ancestors. There's a hexagram in the I Ching called Gu, which is, in that hexagram it talks about how you have to atone for the wrongdoings of your father or atone for the wrongdoings of your mother. And so in the I Ching, this is talking about your ancestral spirits and about kind of karma of having to deal with issues within yourself that are tied to your feelings about family and that are affecting you in your life today. And Berkana is a rune that very much governs that sort of thing. There's also, nature is very much tied into the concept of transformation and spiritual transformation, because we can't have a spiritual transformation without involving nature in the bigger sense of our physical reality around us and our spiritual reality around us. So it's also a symbol that can be connected to the need to reconnect to the roots, or to go into the core of your material reality, to go to the womb or to go to the tomb, to try to make a new beginning or a new end in a spiritual sense, to try to create a renovation, a rebirth, or to do a funerary rite to put an end to something. So it's also connected in the magical sense with things like the Athanur, the vessel, or the oven, or the alchemical jar, where the alchemical transformation can happen. Obviously, there's connections to that with sex magic as well. So in all of those magical kind of contexts, Berkana is a rune that has to do with bringing your spiritual cultivation into a place in the real world and germinating something in the real world with an effect that you maybe, let's say you're going to purify yourself in some way in order to change yourself. And to do this, you can't just think happy thoughts about it. You have to do something about it, right? You have to institute. I've got a cat trying to step right through the camera here. You have to institute a change. And what a stupid cat. She's trying to crawl right through the middle space, but she's too big. All right. So you have to institute a change in yourself, right? You have to make a transformation. And you have to do it by dealing with actual material aspects of your life, and that possibly are also connected to the ancestral aspects of your family. So that's everything for today on this rune, and stay tuned. I don't know when the next rune video is going to be. They tend to happen only once every few months, but we will get to the end of it eventually. If you like this video and you haven't seen them already, check out the rest of the playlist on runes, because we've got most of them covered at this point. We're in the last third of them now. So there's a lot more where this came from if this is the first rune video you saw. If you like this video, please subscribe, and feel free to share this video with other people in places where people will appreciate it. And if you're interested in spiritual cultivation, be sure to check out the other videos and playlists on this channel, in particular those related to the Yifa Society. And if you're looking for a dedicated program of self-transformation, and you like the videos in the Yifa Society playlist, be sure to get in touch with me about applying for membership in the Yifa Society. Also, check out in the link below, there will be in the description below, there'll be a link for the newsletter, where you will get, if you sign up, a usually monthly newsletter with highlights of my teachings that are taken from various parts of social media, and links to videos and articles and interesting things like that. And it's free. And when you sign up, the letter you get to confirm your sign up, don't just put in the spam folder, check it out, because there'll be a link there where you can download for free my PDF of The Path and the Power, which is my translation and commentary on the Tao Te Ching. And that's going to be, I hope, very interesting to you. So thank you very much, and take care.